South Sudan, a tragic odyssey of 14 years under SPLM, SPLA, Rule 1, from liberation dream to governance nightmare. When South Sudan gained autonomy in 2005 and independence in 2011, the SPLM, SPLA inherited both high hopes and enormous responsibility. Yet, internal fractures soon emerged. The SPLM's failure to transform from a liberation movement into a disciplined governing political party created the foundation for political breakdown and state collapse. Horn Affairs Wilson Center. 2. Kleptocracy, corruption, and vanishing resources. Oil, once deemed the economic lifeline, became both curse and weapon. Over 90% of government revenue derived from oil, but with such dependence came crisis. Revenue losses and rampant corruption morphed South Sudan into a violent kleptocracy. Institutions were captured, public funds looted, and development deprioritized. By early 2012, $4 billion were reportedly siphoned by just 75 individuals, signaling a broader culture of impunity and favoritism, with ghost soldiers and inflated payrolls draining the economy. 3. Ethnic distrust, tribalism, and political fragmentation. SPLM SPLA leadership became increasingly tribalized and centralized. The party's reliance on ethnic loyalty eroded national cohesion, fueling distrust and violence. Internal party dissent was met with repression. Institutions and governance projects were guided by patronage, not merit. The 2013 split between Kiir and Machar crystallized political violence rooted in ethnic division, fueling mass atrocities, prolonged civil war, and undermining any semblance of national unity. 4. War, atrocities, and humanitarian calamity. Violence spiraled into civil war, marked by atrocities such as the 2014 Bentiu massacre, where more than 400 civilians were killed in the deadliest single event of the conflict. Tribal conflicts spilled into waves of interethnic massacres, including the Merle militia's attacks in Jonglei State in 2022. Even with peace agreements, the 2015 RCSS and 2018 RRCSS, peace remained elusive. Implementation stalled, key governance reforms delayed, and institutions remained weak. Transitional justice and security integration stalled in mistrust. Most recently, the 2025 detention of Vice President Riek Machar by government forces sparked renewed fears of civil war, especially as the 2018 agreement unraveled before international eyes. Institutional collapse in the impunity culture. Centralization of power destroyed checks, weakening both parliament and judiciary into rubber-stamp entities. Journalists and critics were intimidated or shut down, accountability became fiction, corruption became entrenched. By 2025, vital public services were collapsing, civil servants went unpaid for over a year, hospitals fell into disarray, roads and schools crumbled, and ordinary citizens relied on aid just to survive. 6. Hunger and humanitarian desperation. South Sudan endured one of the worst hunger crises in its history. In 2023, 7.7 million people, two-thirds of the population, faced severe food insecurity, exacerbated by flood disasters and institutional inability to respond. Security deteriorated further. In early 2025, drone and bomb attacks destroyed the only hospital and pharmacy in Fangak County, killing and injuring dozens and extinguishing vital healthcare access for over 110,000 people. 7. Voices of Truth and the Legacy of Betrayal. Amid the chaos, even loyalists admitted despair. General Kuo Manyang, a high-ranking SPLM official, openly confessed, "We have totally destroyed South Sudan," acknowledging the failure to deliver services and replicate the oppression previously suffered under Khartoum. The SPLM, once a symbol of liberation, is now described as betraying the nation, celebrating elitism instead of rebuilding trust, trapping the country in cycles of violence and impunity. Conclusion: a wounded state with uncertain future. 14 years under SPLM SPLA rule have revealed a tragic trajectory. From liberation and hope to kleptocracy, violent fragmentation, tribal governance, institutional failure, and humanitarian collapse. South Sudan's story is not just of unfulfilled promises. It is one of a broken state where governance collapsed under the weight of greed, factionalism, and impunity. Yet, it remains a nation with resilient people. Their future depends on rebuilding institutions, restoring accountability, nurturing inclusive governance, and renewing the social contract, before the dream of independence becomes a scars-deep tragedy of governance.